Hey YouTube, my name is Jordan and this is Scooter Tutorials, and today I'm going to show you how to install a headset. But first, what's a headset? Well, that's a headset. The bearing that allows your wheel to spin in a full rotation 360 degrees without taking the deck with it. So basically it's like a wheel, it's like a wheel bearing, but it's for your bars and your fork. So let's show you how to install that now. Alright, so here I have a scooter deck with no headset and a threadless headset. Well, I should say a mix, because this is FSA Orbit and this is a Can Creek Tank 2. Since, you know, I can never find my parts. But basically, what a threadless headset does is it allows you to have threadless forks, which is this. This is a threadless fork here. It has no threads for a bolt that would normally go on a Razor Ultra Pro fork or Pro fork like this to screw on. But most people don't know that you can also use a threadless headset with threaded forks. And for this purpose, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, when you're installing your headset, you want to make sure you get all your bearings out first, because usually they come assembled with the bearings in them. And if it's an old headset that your friend gave you or something, then make sure you clean it with a rag and Windex or something, because it takes grease out really well. And also maybe Varsol or alcohol, something like a grease disinfectant sort of thing. You don't want sand in your headset. So basically, you have to identify the top cap. Usually it's the smallest one. This is the top cap because it is a smaller diameter than the bottom. So now that you've identified your cap, put the bottom one aside, because you want to do that one last. So put all your bearings and your seal and stuff like that. Now we're going to look at the top cap. So here's the top insert for your top cup for your bearing. I say top cap, I don't know why, but it's top cup. There's many ways you can install it. You can use a vise like this, just by unscrewing your vise and sticking it in, extending it all the way. And that gets the job done, except for the fact that a vise is extremely hardened steel, and most headsets are made of like really crappy aluminum or chromoly, which bends. It's like taking lead, melting it down and putting it into a headset, and then putting that into a vise, and you don't want that, because there's already chips on this from my friend trying to do that, and yeah, you don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of wood, because wood is much softer than the metal that they give you, and it helps if you have like something, well, you can tell all the times I've hammered this in, but a softer wood, something that's not like maple. This might be maple actually, but basically you want to take this and you just want to hammer her down until she's in, and make sure you get it all the way around the side there. Alright, so we got the top cap in. Step one is done. If there's any wood chips lying around, like there is on mine, in the headset, just clean them out with a rag. I'm just going to use my finger because this is an old headset. I don't use this deck anymore. So now that you have that done, make sure you haven't bent anything, because the odd chance you might. So just give it a nice check around the side there. Maybe a feel inside, just in case there's no burrs from it going in. And basically, if you want to keep this from falling out, because I know that with some scooter decks like Ultra Pros and stuff, people will be able to just slide them in with their hands, and you don't want that. You want this in as tight as possible, because you don't want it jiggling around. You want to have that nice dialed sound like this. Well, maybe not that bad, but you want to have it dialed. Just so nothing breaks or cracks. Now, you have to identify what type of headset you have. You know it's threadless, right? Because it has no threads on the top cap, which is this part here. And that fits over top like so. And another way you can check is the bearings, is the way they go. A sealed bearing looks like this. Oh wow, that is dirty. Well, this is a sealed bearing, and this is a unsealed bearing. Now, unsealeds are good for spinning for a long time, but really that's not what you want. Trust me. Because if you have an unsealed headset, eventually the bearings, they pop out, they fall off, you'll lose them, and then your headset doesn't work anymore. But with sealed, it's just like an unsealed, except there's a little wall around it, if you can see this here. And that makes them a lot smoother. And dirt doesn't get in them and stuff. Usually they come with seals, but I take them off because I'm an idiot. And yeah, so that's your sealed and unsealed terminology there. Congratulations, you've successfully installed a threadless headset. But do you still need threadless forks? Remember what I was saying earlier in the video? These bad boys here that seem to break every once in a while. You don't need these. All you need is your standard Razor Ultra Pro forks or Pro forks. Or any other threadless inward fork maybe, you can use that. I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, usually your headsets come with a race. What a race is, it allows the bearing to run along it so the bearings glide smoothly. Even the unsealed ones have this too. And basically what you do is you just slide this on your fork. And it should just click into place. If it doesn't do that, you can just use the wood technique again and hammer it in. It won't get wrecked or anything. They're pretty strong things. So now that you have your race on your fork, you can put in the bottom cup by flipping your deck upside down. Grab your unsealed or sealed bearing, depending on what kind of thing you have. Usually there's a seal for the bottom one so it doesn't pop out, so you put that in too. Pop in the seal, make sure it doesn't fall out. Alright, you're good. Now take your fork, put it in upside down, so it seems like it's in, nice and straight. Give it a spin. If it doesn't spin perfectly straight, then something's wrong with the way you installed your race or your headset, because sometimes they go in crooked and then they don't fix themselves. Now, this is the tricky part, because you have to hold your fork up with something, unless you have a type of compression system like HIC or SCS. Now, I think you're probably thinking like, what? What about ICS? Well, you need bars for ICS, and what's putting bars going to do when you're installing the top bearings on your headset. So grab your top bearing while you're holding your fork from the bottom, slide it on. Now, I'm an idiot, so I lost this part. There's another crown that goes on here. It's like a race, but it crushes your fork, basically, and it won't fall back down. So basically you put that on and that spins on the top bearing, and then you put over this top cap here. But I lost that part, plus I'll never use this headset. But you have to make sure you do that. They're like gold. Usually that's why they're called the crown, I think, but I don't know. So you have that done, and it looks like that. Now what you're going to do with the bolt is you're going to start putting it on, just like a regular fork. And you screw it all the way on until it's to the bottom, and give it a nice tighten with a monkey wrench. So I'll skip to when I have this on, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so you got this in, and if you have that top crown like I'm missing, it should spin real smooth, and you should be able to get your lock nut real tight with it, still be able to spin real smooth. You don't need to go for like, let's say I loosen this, you don't need to go for like 40 minutes. That doesn't mean you have a good headset, it just means you have a lot of lube in it. Which is kind of odd, because it means you like things that are greasy. So, all you need is a nice smooth turn. Just like any regular scooter brown. You just want it to smooth, you just want it to have no resistance. And make that sound with sand in it. Love that sound. Anyways, you're done. So all you have to do now is put on your bars, and if for some reason this lock nut comes loose, you can probably just do it with your hands, or you could put on some Loctite. I'm not going to, because I want to get this fork off later. But if you didn't know, Loctite is just this blue looking stuff. Oh, there's none in here. Well, it's basically, it acts whenever the air is trapped, it locks the nut down like it's a nylock bolt, sort of like on a skateboard. So you're done. You put your wheels on, your bars, and everything else you need. And you got your threadless fork. You saved a good 60 to 80 bucks, depending on what kind of forks you get. I recommend you do not buy district threadless forks since they break. Because they're not welded. Because they suck. Anyways, this was how to install a threadless headset with a threaded fork. Scooter Tutorialz. Make sure you subscribe, rate, comment, do whatever the hell you want. I could care less. And, you know, just stay dialed.